Good afternoon, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talk. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the different stuff that's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the bubble and how almost all the bubbles are starting to come down, and pretty soon people are really going to start panicking if it hasn't already started yet. By that point, some people are just going to be too late. I hate to say it. We've been talking about some of these bubbles popping now for a little while on the channel, and now we are starting to see it. One of the things I find interesting is we are seeing it kind of at a slow and steady pace, but that slow and steady pace is continuing to pick up at a faster and faster pace. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, help me out. It really does help the channel out. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think about this video. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, I always love to hear your thoughts and ideas. So right off the bat, like I said, please, if you would, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of our great videos. We have a lot of different types of videos, everything from prepping, homesteading, financial wealth preservation, cooking, barbecuing, prepping, all kinds of different areas. Plus you can join our Discord right now for free. I will put a link below. All you got to do is click that link, download Discord if you don't already have it downloaded, and it's super easy. That link will only be good for 7 days from the time of loading this video. So with that being said, let's get started and take a look at what's going on today. So we're going to start off right off with the crypto market, since crypto has been for a while now talk of its wealth preservation. It's digital gold. It's everything you wanted it to be and then some. However, it is taking a severe beating right now. All cryptos, everything from your favorite Bitcoin and Ethereum all the way down to your low stocks like Peacock and Gamer and all these other smaller token cryptos. Even your middle ones and your meme favorites are getting unloaded. Taking a look at Shiba today, down 17.92% or 18% pretty much, as it has been taking a beating. Dogecoin down to 11 cents, about ready to go down to 10 something, down 12% when you think about it. That's a lot. Terra down 32. I mean, cryptos are just getting really destroyed today. Bitcoin down 8.66%. However, it was down even more earlier today, as it did hit 30,300 and something. I was curious if it was going to go under 30 today. I really didn't think that was going to go that low, but we'll see how the week will progress with all this sell-off going on right now. Some people might be selling off their cryptos to maybe consider trying to put some money in the Nasdaq or the Dow, thinking that maybe the Nasdaq and the Dow has bottomed. However, I don't believe it has. Don't even think we've seen the big one yet. I think all we've done is just seen this slow and steady descent. So if you don't know what I mean by now about the slow and steady descent, the Nasdaq today ended up closing out at 11,623, down another 4.5%, 4.25% just today. Now moving back for a 5-day range, you're down 7.1%. For a 1 month, you're down 13.33%. Year to date, this is like the worst start we've ever seen in our life, or ever really. Down 26.5% so far year to date. So right now, stocks, especially in the Nasdaq, are not looking good. They continue to just plunge. Now I think people are starting to get worried as 401ks, pensions, retirements, all this is starting to get wiped out. We are seeing basically the bubble that we've seen in growth really climb. We're starting to see it come down, and when you look at the max chart, you can really see that here. Normally a good slow and steady growth can be expected, and that's a good thing. But when you have these bubbles where it just climbs too much too fast, you can expect that it is going to come back down. And if you get in at the top, it can take literally 10, 15 years before you get your money back. And this is a prime example. If you look at the 2000 .com bubble, how long did it take before it got back up there? It didn't get back up there until 15 years later to where it was. And we could be in for that again, but where will the bottom be? Nobody really knows when the sell-off will come to an end. Obviously, it is a nightmare on Wall Street right now with everything going on, as everything seems to be really in the red. Taking a quick look at the Dow Jones, because some people think, well, the Dow, that's Nasdaq, that's tech. Tech naturally, has its ups and downs. But the Nasdaq not really looking much better. It's not quite as bad as 26%, but it did close out down again today, down another 2%. Closing out the day at 32,245, down another 650 points. As you comb this back and you start taking a look, 5-day chart, you're down 2.5%. 1 month chart, you're down 6%. And the year-to-date chart, you're down almost 12%, just year-to-date. So there again, a lot of people's retirements, pensions are getting destroyed. People really wanting to blame someone. I really do believe this administration is going to have a lot of blame on their hands come midterms, but we will see how a lot of this plays out. I think that we are going to see some crazy stuff continue to happen over the next few months. I would not be surprised to see them start launching out some sort of stimulus to kind of help the people. But we know the reason why the economy is in the situation that it's in right now is because of all the stimulus, all the printing of money. It has nothing to do with the propaganda, I guess you could say, that we're being fed on the mainstream media. That's why, the majority of your news networks are owned by six people. 90% of the news is controlled by 6 different people. So when you have that, you don't really get as much diversity in the news as you think you might. And that's why we're not being told about this. Where, you watch the news, you watch CNBC, and you're going to hear, oh, it's a buying opportunity. Buy, 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 buy. We've been talking about this for a while now. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed to give financial information. I've said that at the beginning of the year when we were saying get out. My opinion, I would get out. And now a lot of these people that stayed in or bought more thinking that everything was behind us are really taking huge hits. And here's the thing. There's just so much uncertainty right now with the markets, with the cryptos, with everything, that people are really worried. I mean, what's going to happen between Russia and Ukraine? Are we going to get dragged into this? Is this going to escalate? Is this going to put food production at lows for a while? How long are we going to see food shortages? Are we going to see famines? What's going to happen? A lot of people aren't really looking at the big picture. They are just tired from going to work day to day, and they're not really knowing what to do. Some of them not even aware. I've heard some people say, it's not like I can do anything about it, so why bother worrying or listening to it? You can do something about it. You can start preparing now for what could be coming. I spent today part of my day talking to a lady at Walmart today, and one of the things she had told me was that she's been seeing an increase of people coming in, getting canning jars, getting stuff to store food in, like food saver bags. We're seeing that stuff pick up again. But it's only the people that are really have their mind open to what's going on that are actually preparing for that. The people that are not preparing are going to be the people that go to the grocery store and have to buy up shopping cart after shopping cart all at once because they didn't prepare. So it's something to think about if we're seeing that increase. I know she asked me what I was doing with the jars, and I said, I put different stuff in there, and You know, nobody really wants to come out and say they're a prepper in public because it does get frowned on a little bit. So who knows? We will see how some of this plays out. But I really think we're in for a bad winter. Because keep in mind, come winter, oil is going to be in high demand. A lot of people need it to heat their homes. A lot of people need it to cook. A lot of people need it for a lot of different stuff. Plus, we're also going to need it for the gas, and we're already seeing the shortages in different areas on gas as price really continues to ramp up at higher and higher levels. So here's the thing, though. I've got to say this because obviously it is the elephant in the room. Taking a look at what's going on in silver, we are seeing silver and gold both coming down. However, it's not coming down at that bad of a percent in my personal opinion. Silver is down right now 12.1%. I really think at some point it's going to hit a bottom. I'm really wondering, looking at the charts now, are we going to see the bottom around 20? Because I've talked to a bunch of people that said if it hits 20, I'm backing up the truck. A lot of people are saying that. So we could literally see some sort of a crazy jump. But I understand for the people that aren't buying right now, maybe money's tight with everything going on. Maybe you're a little nervous because the price is coming down. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts, and you can hear that out and kind of think about it. I think gold and silver will eventually break, and we will see an increase in price. However, I know there's a huge silver raid on the 15th. I'm not a fan of silver raids. I'm a fan of buying regularly. But I'm not a fan of the raid because what the raid's going to do is it's going to put everybody buying on the same day. And we could see a jump in prices just before. And if that happens, I don't want to be buying at a higher price. Obviously, I want to pick my stuff up at a lower price. I do practice dollar cost averaging, keeping my costs down from... I buy more if the price goes down. When the price starts rising, I slow down. I might buy that first week when the price starts going up, but if it does start ramping up faster, that's when I know I got to slow down. So gold closing out the day down a little bit today, down sitting at 21.80 right now. So we still have a good buffer over 20, but it is a possibility that we could continue to see it come down, especially in the heat of everything else coming down, plus China on full lockdown, everything closed down over there, and not using as much silver for industrial purposes right now. You know, your manufacturing of chips and stuff, but it doesn't mean that they're not taking advantage of stocking up on silver, on gold. I do have a belief that Russia is still continuing to buy gold, even though gold is coming down. You can see gold closing out today at 1853.60. But there again, looking at gold over a 30-day chart, you're only down 5%. Even if you take year to date almost, you've got gold up 1.15%. So over the last 6 months, gold really has shined, in my opinion. Even though everything else has came down, gold managed to kind of hold, if not eke out another 1.25% roughly. I know 1.25% is not a lot of money to most of y'all for the amount of capital that you've got to put up to get into gold. Not many people are buying 1 gram coins. They're buying eagles, and then by the time you factor in the premiums that go on those eagles, you're not really making anything. You're probably breaking even, but you're breaking even at a time where everybody else's money is essentially losing value. And a lot of people just aren't really seeing what's going on. And I think they could be in for a rude awakening, as a lot of stuff is coming down right now. One thing that has another thing that has even started to come down is the ruble to the dollar. Now, this I found a little interesting because I thought they would continue to climb. However, something is going on where the ruble has actually lost a little of its ground. Now, don't get me wrong. The ruble has done extremely well. I know I was talking to someone yesterday, and he's, I'm going to say, more mainstream, watching his news. And he said, oh, I don't think they're doing good. Their money's losing value. No, actually, their money has been gaining value, because when you think about it, if the ruble was at 1 penny before, and now it's at 0.014, that is a penny and a 40% of another penny. So let's hypothetically say for a minute that you put $1,000 in rubles. Basically, if you put $1,000 in, now you're up to 1,400 in buying power and purchasing power over there. So I think, the ruble is still looking pretty good. However, I'm curious to see if this sudden plunge is because a lot of countries now are thinking that they can band together and not buy Russian oil. They can probably get away with that a little bit now where it's summer. They don't really need the oil as bad. They need it for gasoline, yes, but they don't need it literally to survive. But here's what's going to happen. By doing this, by pushing this enforcement of we're not going to buy from Russia, what happens is we see the prices really start skyrocketing. And as these prices start ramping up higher and higher, you've got to wonder, is there going to be a breaking point? And then come winter, you're already at your broken point. You've already charged as much as you can. You're probably picking up that extra slack on a credit card, and you're basically going in the hole. And a lot of people just aren't seeing it. So it's something you got to consider. You got to start preparing for this. Try to catch them dips on everything. I have been really ramping up on ideas to, some people are going to laugh, cut spending. How can I tighten my belt? Now, I know people that know me personally on the channel are going to be like, are you kidding me? You can't get any cheaper, T. You're already as cheap as they come. However, I keep looking for ways. And I actually came up with another way today when I was washing my comforter. I put it in the dryer. It didn't dry the first time around because it's a big, heavy, bulky item. And I had to run it again. And then I said, you know what? Maybe I should have maybe if I hung it outside, I wonder if it would dry. It was 90 degrees with the sun beating down today. And then I got thinking about when I was younger. I remember my mom and my grandmother would actually hang stuff up on clothesline. So I actually got my clothesline poles already up in the backyard. I ended up going to Walmart, got a fresh clothesline. I know one of my buddies was like, just use some paracord. You have that with tarps on hand. But I decided, you know what, for $2.18, I'm just going to buy a new clothesline. Another $2.64, I'm going to buy the clothespins. And I'm going to start hanging my clothes up outside. Now, I may not hang everything up. I may not hang up my underwear and my personal items. However, big, bulky items that I know are going to take time to dry, like jeans, quilts, comforters, that type of stuff, that could end up saving on my power bill. I had an amazingly low power bill this month. Got it all the way down to $39. I was super impressed. I still haven't turned on my AC. I know some people are like, dude, that's got to be miserable. And it is. I'm not going to lie. It comes down to the sacrificing. I did a video on that last week, sacrificing now. But here's what I think could happen too. It's out there, but it's on the back of my mind. If for some reason we see a drastic jump in electricity, or we see something happen where we start having rolling blackouts. Now, I have a generator. So I would be all right. However, a lot of people, even if they have a generator, are not able to hook their central air up to their generator. So therefore, now they've just got to deal with the heat. And if you've got to deal with the heat, it helps to have already been a little bit conditioned to it. Like I said, it starts with the little things. Look at what you're spending your money on. I write down the money I spend every single day. I don't care if it's a cup of coffee, if it's a Subway sandwich, if it's anything. I write it down. I wrote down my money today that I spent, and I write down, if I have any money come in on something, what came in and stuff. I think it's a key thing to do to really keep a good eye on your spending, because if you're doing that, it's going to put you in a better spot. It's going to make you aware of maybe where you're wasting your money. So I challenge everybody for a week, write down where your money's going. I know a lot of it, I could probably say, even if you did it for a month, the majority of your money is going to go to food, gas, rent, and then your everyday household bills. Credit cards, as interest rates continue to climb, you'll see more of your money going to interest on those cards. Interest payments, that type of stuff. So you got to get out in front of this and really try to come up with some ideas to be prepared for what's going on as it could continue. But a couple things, like I said, that are not going down, since we talked about the bubbles plunging, is your crude oil. Crude oil continues to climb as it's sitting at $102.72 a barrel right now. Maybe even a little higher, since this is not exactly updated. I expect we're going to continue to see this climb as time goes on. A lot of people just they realize prices are going up, but they don't know what to do with it. They say, I can't do anything about it. And to a certain point, you can't really do anything about it. All you can do is prepare now. And even though we're seeing, as you look to the right-hand side of the screen, you can see different commodities. And it looks on the charts like everything's coming down. Natural gas down 11%. Heating oil down 3.5%. Gold down another 1.5%. Silver down 2.5%. But here's the thing now that's happening. Companies have already essentially started raising their prices. They're recalculating now. They know nothing's transitory. Everything is here to stay. And if things are going to get worse, they might be better off raising their prices now and seeing what happens. A slowdown in sales, obviously, if product starts building up, then that means that their prices, they raised it too high. But if we don't see the buildup or the backlog of stuff because we're in shortage, keep in mind a lot of stuff ain't being produced right now. So they're raising these prices, possibly even purposely restricting the flow of supplies. Now, I know some people would say there's no way they can do that. However, they can do that. I mean, that's really why oil is going up so high right now, is because with Russia out of the sales game and being one of the top producers of oil, it only makes sense that supply is limited. And I think to a certain point, I think they want to see limited supply so they can make more money. They can control who's getting that money, where that money's going. And unfortunately, we're not pumping what we used to. We're not as energy independent as we were under the previous administration. And like the previous administration, or don't like the previous administration, I'm really starting to see what a lot of other people are starting to see, that the way things are right now, everything is going up. And that's going to be really bad for this current administration come midterms, because midterms are right around the corner. And I do worry about things getting so bad between now and then that maybe they have to think outside the box a little to maintain control, because they do have a powerful control play right now. However, moving on, it's not just your oil, it's everything. As you can see, all the commodities are coming down. Food prices, everywhere you look, you're going to see food price increases. You can't miss them now. With eggs, a 36 pack of eggs, 9 something. A gallon of milk, $5-6. That's where I'm at. You guys leave a comment. Let me know. Last time you bought eggs, last time you bought milk, how much it was. This is going to continue to get worse. If you've got food prepped and you're using it, I mean, I can understand that because money is getting tight, and maybe you're saying, you know what, I want to start using some of the stuff I got. I want to maybe get a better rotation. I want to get a better setup. A lot of things you can do. Make sure you're looking for ways to tighten up. Use that money that you're saving by tightening up to put towards other ideas like wealth preservation. Maybe some gold, maybe some silver. Maybe if you have a few firearms, then maybe you'd want to get some little bit of extra ammo if you can pick up a good deal on it. Maybe you want to stock up your pantry a little bit more. Maybe you want to get a couple 5-gallon buckets full of rice with airtight seals on them, and that will last. You know, I've done some videos on ideas to preserve food, make it last a lot longer. So there's a lot of different things you can do to kind of get prepared for what's going on. So with all that being said, I will wrap it up there. I want people to stay on guard. We are seeing a slow and steady descent. And when you see that slow and steady, it gives you a lot of opportunity to get out of your positions. Maybe if you're holding gold or silver, slow and steady, you might decide to start selling it. You have to be a really well-rounded individual to still do well in this type of an environment where everything is coming down. You've got to look for ideas. You've got to look to be able to maybe trade some stuff with people that you know that are maybe in positions where they can trade. Another thing, obviously, to keep in count is just little things. Maybe just shutting off that light in your house. You're saving a little electricity there. I know not many people are going to go to the extent of keeping their AC off. I understand that. I am one of the outliers when it comes to that. However, I want to be extremely prepared. I ended up cooking a huge rib cage today of a hog. Separated all the meat. It cost me nothing. The hog, I shouldn't say nothing. I actually gave the guy that I hunted it on, I actually gave him a box of ammo as a thank you for taking the hog. I ended up cooking it outside, slow cooked it on the pit, and turned it into pulled pork. So keep that in mind. Look for ideas. Stay vigilant. Keep prepping. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for other tips and ideas. And please hit that thumbs up button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know ideas for maybe future videos. I love hearing them. And check out some of these other great videos that we have on these playlists. And stay prepped, stay prepared.